Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul Duse, and if you're new here, I'm a professional wedding photographer right here in Ghana, and thank you for taking the time to join me for this live stream. So like the topic suggests, today we are going to talk about the gear I use specifically in 2021 for my wedding photography business. And then again, I'm going to answer some of your questions, and hopefully I will also help guide you to maybe make a purchase decision correctly. I'm a Nikon shooter, I'm a Nikon shooter, so maybe my gear line will not align with yours as a Canon shooter. So, but the principles are the same. We are all buying this equipment so that we can get the best out of it. And so I believe if after this live streaming, you should have some better knowledge of what to buy in your next purchase. So without much ado, let's dive right into it. So if you don't know who I am, I'll quickly introduce myself here with my Instagram profile. So let's go to the screen. Okay, so this is my page right here, and I'm a wedding photographer, like I said earlier. My name is Paul. So these are some of my works. You can check them out. And if you haven't followed me yet, please take the time and then follow me as well. And all the links are in the description below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I think I've rambled or talked too much enough. So let's dive right into the main purpose of this video. Okay. So first of all, everybody is interested in the camera, because when we all see some nice pictures around, we want to know, oh, which camera did you use to take this picture? Which camera did you use to take this picture? And all this stuff. So I use a Nikon Z6. Like I said earlier, I shoot Nikon most of the time. So I use Nikon Z6. And let's quickly check it out. This is the camera I'm referring to, Nikon Z6. So let me just make this clear that in today's live stream, we are going to talk mainly about photography. In another section later, we might discuss videography too, depending on how you guys see today's live stream. So I hope you guys are interactive enough so that we can all learn something new. So I use a Nikon Z6, and this is it's right here. Currently, I'm shooting with one of the Nikon Z6. So let's see if the camera can focus on it. Okay, so Nikon Z6, I have used it very, very well. And this is what I use for pictures most of the time. And it has been a very fantastic camera so far. And on top of it is the Tamron 24-70 G2. So let's quickly check this out. So the Nikon Z6 on the B&H page. So unfortunately, I wasn't actually showing my. So this is the Nikon Z6, as you can see over here, the Nikon Z6. And this is the one we use for video actually. The one I use for pictures is the one I'm live streaming on at the moment. So what matters is they are both Nikon Z6 and they all produce the same result. Just that we have dedicated one for pictures and one for videos. All right. So when we check on the B&H, so this is the camera I'm talking about. For now, you can get this camera at a highly discounted price of around $1,600. And that $1,600, maybe let's see the dollars to see this. If you are watching this from any other part of the country, just know that I'm a Ghanaian, and I assume that most of the people watching currently on this live are Ghanaians as well. So as you can see over here, currently it's around 9,700 cedis without shipping included. And I think it's not cheap, but the result speaks for itself. Do you get it? So that is one of the main reasons why I love this camera. Like, the price is not overly priced. It's not cheap, like, but it's okay. Yes, Tail says don't forget to drop a like on the video though. Yes, if you are getting some small value out of this video, I know we just started, but please leave a like on this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, try and subscribe. But before then, let me know, is my video quality okay? And can you hear me properly? Let me know. Let me quickly switch to my camera so that you guys can tell me, what do you think about my setup? Is this good enough? Like, can you guys hear me clearly? Is the video clear enough? Because I'm streaming in 720p. I don't want to risk streaming in 180p and then maybe the network starts misbehaving. So we are streaming in 720p. Enough of that. Let's move to the topic itself. My attention span is kind of small, so please pardon me. Okay, so here, like I was saying, this is my page, and then let me close this tab quickly. Okay, so this is the camera I use, Nikon Z6. I have all linked in the description below. You can check them out on Amazon and on B&H as well. This is a very fantastic camera. I've always wanted to switch to a mirrorless. I used to shoot the Nikon D750, but what happened is because it's not mirrorless, it tends to be very heavy. And those of you who know me, you know that I always like small equipment. Like, I don't want to carry heavy cameras around. So when this Nikon decided to enter the mirrorless market, I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Because I've always wanted to get into a mirrorless, but the problem was it's either Sony or maybe Panasonic or something else. But I am a Nikon shooter. I love Nikon, and I wasn't ready to divert from my Nikon to any other platform. So when they brought the Z6, I was very happy. And it hasn't disappointed so far. The image quality is good. You can see for yourself. If you check my page right now, PDY Weddings, you can see the clients love the pictures. That's the most important part. Once the clients are happy with the results, I am happy as well. So I think the result is good. That's why I chose the Nikon Z6. So, and let's move on. The next lens, the next item is the lens I use. So my first lens is the Tamron 24-70 f2.8. So this lens over here. Oh God, this thing is harder than I thought. Let's try and get it to focus. Oh, this thing won't focus on the lens. What? Oh God. You want to disgrace me in front of these people? Okay. By the way, okay, it has focused. So this is the Tamron 24-70, and this is like maybe a wide angle to a telephoto. It's f2.8, so it is good enough for most situations. And as a wedding photographer, I will highly recommend that you get a 24-70 as well, because trust me, you'll be shooting in tight spaces, and then at a point in time, that tight space will just change dramatically for you to, for the need to go like maybe zoom in or something like that. So that's why I have this lens. To be honest, most of the time I don't use it. It's on a video camera or maybe lying in the bag, but it helps a lot in some situations as well. So that's my next lens. And then I have the Nikon 50mm. So if you want to check the Tamron as well, so let's check. This is what I'm referring to, Tamron 24-70 f2.8. G2 lens, yes, the G2 is very important. So this is it over here. It's 1200 and then $1,200 will be around $7,300 without shipping. So let me put this straight over here that I'm not trying to scare you guys or something, but one thing you should all know, if maybe the amount I'm mentioning looks like very expensive or high end, I just want you to know that I didn't just stand one day and then I got here. So I am just trying to tell you the equipment I use. And then when you reach the point where I can make some recommendations, then you look at your budget, you get it. At this point in time, I've also used some other cameras that have been very good and very helpful. But currently, this is what I'm using, and I think it is working very well. So if you just join us, please leave a wave or leave a comment. So we are seeing some comments. Let me get to the comment section real quick. We have sound is clear, quality production, thank you. Background and everything is okay, thank you. All is on point, thank you. The quality is dope. The Lally Studios, everything is on point. The Lally Studios, seems I don't know you, but I'll check you out. And then Mr. Ose says, which kind of situation? So I believe you are referring to the Tamron 24-70. The situation I'm referring to here is that maybe you are shooting in a tight corner, some rooms. This is a wedding. You go to meet exactly what is there. Like, you can't get there and then decide to choose a different room or something. You can only work with what you have. So that's why I recommend the 24-70. This is wide enough to take picture in a tight corner, and then you can zoom enough to get some telephoto, like nice portrait as well. The f2.8 is like, the background blur is superb, like very nice. If I'm not lying, I'm shooting on a 35mm 1.8 right now, which I'll come to. But when I put on the 24-70 f2.8, to be honest, I feel like the background is almost the same as this one. Maybe there is slight difference, but I feel now. So the bokeh is good enough for other situations as well. So get this. If you don't get a Tamron 24-70, you can also get the maybe Nikon 24-70 or Canon 24-70. But the disadvantage is those lenses are very, very expensive. That is why I always try to shift to Tamron as much as possible. All right, so let's move to the next lens. So I shoot, our next lens on the list is, and hold on, let me transition real quick. This thing is much difficult than I thought. I'm sure I've said that. Okay, so our next lens is the Nikon 50mm f1.8. Trust me, I am very, very, very grateful for having this lens. Like, this lens is like a lifesaver. Now, I believe among all the lenses I'll be mentioning, this lens might be the cheapest on the list, but it has also done a lot of good for me. So this is the lens I'm talking about. As you can see, this is, I bought some recently. Ganani and I collaborated, and then we purchased a camera. I took the lens and he took the camera. This is the lens at the moment. But I've been using 50mm for the past 6 to 7 years. And this lens has been fantastic. So whether you shoot Canon or Nikon, I highly recommend that. From your kit lens, the next lens you should move to is 50mm. The pressure is catching me, so I'm buying a lot. Please pardon me. Okay, so that is $196, and that should give us around, so 16197. That is around 1,200. You can get some in Ghana for around 1,200, 1,250. And the Canon version is even cheaper, around 650, 700, 750 that way. So you can get it. But it is a very fantastic lens. That is why it is almost always in the gear bag of most photographers. All right. So the next on the list is the Tamron 35mm. So the Tamron 35mm, that is what I'm recording with right now. I'm on live with the Tamron 35mm f2.8. Guys, this thing is very difficult. I thought it would be much simpler to do, but it's not easy, so please pardon me, okay? And then please don't forget to subscribe. Leave a like on this video. It's very important. So this is the lens I'm talking about. I can't show you right now because it's on the camera. It is also $600, and this lens is super cool in a way that the minimum focus distance, so like if I say minimum focal distance, maybe how close can you get to an item before like the lens refuses to focus. This lens is so good that you can get as close as possible. So let me just demonstrate that with this 50mm. As you can see over here, see how close I'm getting. Now I'm touching the lens, just slightly moving. This lens can focus. Whoa, focus. Okay, it's difficult to maybe it's the camera, but this lens can focus very tightly. So what I use it for mostly is to shoot details in some situations. For instance, if you want to shoot the wedding ring or something, I use this lens. And then recently I've found myself using it to shoot like group pictures after the wedding ceremony, those parents, group pictures, all those types. This 35mm is very good for that. So I've been seeing myself using it a lot lately. So that's another lens in my camera bag. And the almighty lens that is my favorite of all time, you guess it right, is the Nikon 85mm f1.8. So this lens, which is 76 cedis, dollars, sorry, is even cheaper than the Tamron 35mm. But this lens is responsible for over 90% of the pictures I've taken. So you can see how very important it is to me. This is the lens here. Let me then try and get it into focus. This lens over here. Okay. I'm not sure this lens wants to focus, but let's see if it will work. It's not working. What is happening? Maybe today is not a good day for focusing. All right, but this is the lens I'm talking about basically. So this lens has been responsible for most of these pictures, like all these pictures over here. There's a video, but all these pictures over here, from here, almost everything over here is 85mm, almost everything over here. And in some cases, I even shoot the entire wedding with only the 85mm, and it is very good, very sharp, very lightweight, and like it gives you value for the money. So so all the pictures on my page right now, you can see from here, all of this, I shot them with the 85mm, and this lens never disappoints. So your next lens you should purchase after your 50mm should either be the 24-70 or 85mm, depending on your shooting scenarios. But I think the 85mm is a very good lens. And these are the kind of pictures that give you the jobs. Do you get it? Those wide angle shots, most of the time we don't publish them. Most of the time, sometimes we publish them. But these are the ones that give you the jobs. So I would recommend that you invest in an 85mm. So, all right. So Are you guys here? Please give me a wave. What is that big lens in the background there? We are coming to that one very, very soon. So, as you can see in the background over there, let me transition real quick. This lens is the next lens in my camera bag, and this lens is like busum. If you're a Ghanaian, you understand what I mean. This is the Tamron 70 to 200. I'll leave all the links to this equipment in the description below so that you can check them out. But this lens is like one of my least used lens ever. So the Tamron 70 to 200 G2. Now, the annoying part is that the moment you refuse to carry this lens along, that is when you'll be needing its services. So it is always there. I've decided to sell it so many times and then later, like, ignore the idea of selling it because it's very important. Now, the result from this lens is fantastic. Like I said, I like Tamron because the price is cheaper than the original Nikon. And then this lens has image stabilization that is very, very good. If you are shooting with this lens, it's like you are holding a tripod. You are shooting on a tripod. The image stabilization is very, very good. And this lens should be around, let me check it out and then show you guys the price. But then again, let me be quick to add that the Tamron 70 to 200 is not a must-have in my opinion. The reason being that I hold this lens for close to 3 or 4 years now. I don't remember the last time I used it actually. So it's $1,300, just the same price as the 24 to 70. But maybe if you're a videographer or something like that, you might consider using this lens so that you can zoom in from far and then get some tight close-ups. And the bokeh is very nice. So if you are a videographer and you are considering buying a 70 to 200, I will always recommend that you buy the Tamron 70 to 200 G2. It is very, very, very good. Now, if you compare this to the price of the original Nikon, this is like half the price. But I think the result is like almost the same as the original, or even better. But the stabilization is far, far better than the original, I think. The original Nikon ones, I think. So, the same applies to Canon. You can get this cheaper than the Canon latest models. So, that's it. So, basically, these are the lenses I use. I have a 55mm f2.8, which is a manual lens, and it's a macro lens, like for tight shots. But I don't usually carry it along since I got the 35mm. So that is out of my camera bag at the moment. And then one disadvantage of that one too is that it's very difficult to carry along. So like it's very difficult to focus. So I just decided to forgo it. All right. So I've answered your question. This is the macho lens at the back. Mr. Osei, which kind of situation? Can you please give me like a better understanding of the question, because I am not understanding what you are referring to. Maybe you want to ask a specific question about one of the lenses that I showcased over here, or I showed to you guys. So let me know exactly what you mean, and then I will explain that. Okay, you don't want to be macho, so you like mirrorless. Yes, mirrorless is the future. I will always tell you that if you want to buy a new camera right now, and you're spending over $1,000 or maybe 5,000 cedis or something, try and then get a mirrorless, whether it is a Canon RP, a Nikon Z6, or even a Canon M50. I believe that the future is mirrorless, and the results I get from mirrorless, like shooting on it, is just relaxing and comfortable. You don't have to do so much. Like the autofocus is perfect. It's sweet. You can see right now I can move forward, move backwards, and then my autofocus will stay on me. mirrorless are very good at detecting faces as well. That's why usually when I focus on other stuff in front of me, it doesn't want to work. So you can see when I move closer to the lens, I believe I'm in focus. When I go back, I'm still in focus. There is no way a Nikon D750 will do this. And there is no way maybe a Nikon D800 or what will do this. So, but the prices are almost the same. So why not just go for a mirrorless and then join the future gang? You get it. Everybody is switching to mirrorless actually. So if you can afford it, I will advise that you switch to mirrorless, and that will help you a lot. Okay, at this point in time, I'm done with the lenses. If you have any questions, please let me know in the chat session there so that I can answer it right now. So I'm reading your questions. What is the big lens? Okay, I've answered that already. You said you use the lens in some situations. Please, which lens do you shoot group pictures with? Okay, so most of the time I'm shooting group pictures with the Tamron 24-70. So I'm shooting with this Tamron 24-70 over here. It's connected to the Nikon Z6 through an FTZ. So like the Nikon mount is referred to as a Z mount, and then this lens is an F mount, so you need an adapter between them. So the adapter is the one here, and this is the lens itself. This is the lens I use mostly for group pictures, and it has been fantastic. But recently I find myself using the Tamron 35mm 1.8, especially if I can go back enough. But if I can't go back enough, I'll just switch to the 24-70, which will give me up to 24. But with the 35mm, as you already guess, I can't increase or decrease the focal length of it to maybe 24. So I use the 24-70 for my, how should I put it, group pictures. All right, please, if you are getting value from this stream, kindly hit the like button, share with your friends, and then don't forget to subscribe as well. So I'm taking more questions. Clement, thanks for joining. Nice one. I think you have answered my question regarding which beginner camera to get. Okay, yes. For beginner camera, I will always recommend that you buy either an M50 or something similar to that, because I don't see M50 is 4K. It shoots 4K. The autofocus is sweet. I have that camera which I've packed and I want to sell it out, but the autofocus is very sweet, even though you can shoot with that same autofocus at 4K. But who cares? I'm streaming at 720p at this moment, and you guys are interested in the information. Once the content is good, I think the 4K doesn't matter. 1080p is good enough. Most of you are buying 6D at this point, and 6D doesn't do 1080p at 60 frames. I don't understand why people love 6D. Maybe you have not tried it before, that's why, but I don't know. I won't spend money on 6D, and I don't recommend it to anybody at all. Maybe for pictures, that's fine, and we are talking about pictures, so maybe you can consider that. But then again, you should also know that there is no 6D in production at this moment. So if you are buying a new 6D, just know that it is some way, somehow refurbished by these Chinese people. It's some few cases that you may get brand new 6D, but they've stopped producing those cameras a long time ago. So get a mirrorless like M50 or Nikon Z6, or maybe Canon RF or the Nikon Z6. Those cameras are fantastic, and the result, you like them, like you will enjoy them for a very long period. So as you can guess, I'm singing the mirrorless song so much as if I've been paid to be the mirrorless ambassador. No, I've not been paid, and of course nobody knows I even exist at this point in time, but mirrorless is sweet. If you taste it, trust me, you never go back. Some of you may go back, depending on your taste, but most of you will never go back. Okay, so now let's move to the next question. What is the best lens to start with as a photographer? So what I would say is, that is the lens I'm talking about. Okay, good. So I've answered your question, right, Mr. Osei? Have I answered your question? All right. Please let's switch to our monitor real quick. I think my camera just went off. Now, there is one major disadvantage with mirrorless cameras is the battery life. The batteries are not strong. But even with that, I'm able to shoot weddings about at least 500 pictures before it goes off. In this case, it's because I'm live streaming. That is why the camera has gone off so quick. But we are back again. And sorry for that. So we are back again. And my battery went off some way, somehow. Okay, let's answer your questions. That is the lens I'm talking about here. So I believe I've answered your question. Is 18 megapixels still good enough? Yes, 18 megapixels is good enough. The reason being that, trust me, most of us, we worry about megapixels. But I, for instance, when I deliver pictures, I deliver a maximum length of 2,500 pixels. And 18 megapixels should be around 3,000 to 4,000 pixels. Do you get it? At the longest edge. Now, we are posting on social media. Instagram is around 1080p by 1920p or something. Our maximum resolution is around 1080p by 1400 or something like that. So 18 megapixels is giving you more than enough required. And if you are printing 18 megabytes, you need about just 8 megabytes to print. Like, you don't need all those 3,000, 4,000 pixels or higher to print for most situations. And unless maybe you are doing a job that is like, details are very, very important, where they will be zooming in and all those stuff. But I think there is a reason why iPhone is still 12 megapixels. 12 megapixels is just better because the sensor size is small. That means there is a lesser pixel. Now, the more the pixels are packed together, the worse it gets at, how do you call it? At noise. So if you are shooting a 48 megapixels on the same sensor as somebody who is shooting 24 megapixels, you, the 48, will need a lot more processing to process the noise that is coming into the camera. But with the 24 pixels, you have slightly better noise management. You get it? So I think 18 megapixels is good enough for wedding. You will not deliver more than 5 megapixels to a client. Maybe some people deliver more than 5 megapixels, but I've been delivering a maximum of 2,500 at the longest edge for the past 5 years, and no client has ever complained. And I've been sharing on social media a maximum length of 2,000, and even Instagram would degrade it. Nobody has ever complained about it. So I don't see the reason why you should be worried about 18 megapixels. 18 megapixels is good enough. If you can go top most, I think 24 is okay. Because if you are shooting a wedding like I do, and you are shooting on a 40 megapixels, 48 megapixels, what is going to happen is you are going to spend a lot on memory cards and a lot on storage, and that is not a good news at all. The faster you get the job done, the better. The bigger the size, the slower your machine will be. So that's it. And I forgot to add, so the Nikon Z6 uses an SQD card, and this is the card here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to get it to focus. Why? Okay, it uses an SQD card. Let me just show it on there. Today, my autofocus is determined to disgrace me in front of you people, but don't worry, God did with it. All right, so I use SQD card from Sony. So this is the card I use, and it's very expensive as well. So if you are considering moving to a Nikon mirrorless, consider this as well. The memory card is very expensive, and you don't want to be shooting on a more than 24 megapixels if you are paying this amount for a memory card. A normal memory card would be like, let's see, SDHC SDAC 64 gig, 64 gig. So SD card, 64 gig will be around, well, look, $18 compared to $99. So guys, don't go and be chasing how do you call it, higher megapixels if you are switching to a camera that uses very expensive cards. But the advantages of the SQD card, even though it's very expensive, the speed is very, very fast. Here we have a maximum speed of 170 for the read and then 90 for the write. But with this one, we have 440 for the write, the read, and then 400 for the write. That is like 5 times better and it's faster, so it makes you shoot faster as well. So that's it, guys. Let me check for your questions as well. What is the best lens to start with as a photographer? So the best lens I would recommend always is that you get a 50mm. If you have the money and you can go ahead and buy an 85mm, that's good. But if you are shooting a wedding, you need something wide. So basically you have your kit lens. I assume you are having your kit lens. So if you have that kit lens, then the 50mm over here is the next best thing you should get. So the 50mm is less expensive, but the results are fantastic. So I would recommend that you get a 50mm. And then what is our next question? Let's go to our next questions over here. So Rodney Tego. Okay, so how do you get sharp pics in group shots? Okay, so when you are shooting group pictures, for instance, on a Tamron 24-70, what happens is I make sure that everybody is aligned straight. Like the alignment is, everybody should be in a straight line. So once they are in a straight line, you are able to get them in the same plane. That means the focus, once you focus on one person, it is more likely that all of them will be more focused. But the next thing is you make sure that you increase, like you increase the aperture number. So maybe instead of shooting f2, you can shoot at f4 or f5.6, depending on the scenario. That way you will get sharper images. And then make sure that if you are shooting indoors, you are using a flash or you are using a faster shutter speed, because some people may be moving and that will blur the image. So that's how I get sharp images. Increase the aperture and then get them in a straight line. Most of the time, focus on the couple. Once the couples are in focus, the rest can blur out a little, but I focus and target the couple. And in most cases too, the people in front of the couple, like in front with the couple, are the people that the couple want to see more. In most cases, it can happen and they are at the back, but in most cases, the parents, the pastors, all those people are in front already. So just focus on the front people and then increase the aperture number to maybe f4 or f5.6, depending on the lighting situation over there. This is a group picture, so background blur is not as important as getting the images sharp. Okay, so the next question. Is Canon 70D good for a beginner? Yes, Canon 70D is a fantastic camera. I've had the opportunity of using it once for a video. It's very heavy, but it's good. If that is what you have, it's perfect, because they always say the equipment you have in hand is the best equipment you can work with. So just try and then get it to work. But if you're now going to buy, I would recommend that you get something in a mirrorless range. You get it. Even if you want to buy the 6D, buy 6D Mark II instead of the 6D Mark I. That camera has a very good autofocus and the features are great as well, but mirrorless is the way to heaven. So in my opinion, mirrorless is the way to heaven. Okay, but the 70D is good enough and it can get you some very fantastic results depending on how you use it. The most important part is the lens as well. So if you are shooting on a 70D, I would recommend that you rather go with a 50mm instead of an 85 in most cases, because with the 85 you have to go far back the result will be better than the 50, but the 50 will give you that sweet spot. Okay, so I use a 6D. Want to upgrade, which should I go for? Okay, so if you want to upgrade, I will recommend that if you can get a Canon R, get it. If it is the RF, get it. Or maybe the 6D Mark II. But I would never recommend that you go and buy the 5D Mark IV or all those stuff. Those cameras, depending on the situation you want to use it for, like depending on your kind of situation, your special kind of situation. But I personally feel like if you have the money to buy Canon 5D Mark IV, then you better buy the Canon R and be free, because those cameras are fantastic. I don't know how much I need to stress this, but if you can buy a mirrorless, buy a mirrorless and be free. Okay, so I believe Mr. Ose, I've answered your 6D question. Do you eat before shooting a wedding or after? Okay, this question is very fantastic. I used to not eat early in the morning, but then my doctor says because I don't eat early in the morning, I don't take breakfast. That's why I'm having eye problems, and hence I have to spend money on this lens. But eating in the morning is very important, like everybody will tell you. And when I go to weddings, you see, sometimes you go to the wedding ground around 7, 8 a.m. and then you might not find food before you start the shoot. But food is very important. To me, if I'm hungry, I will do my job, but I wouldn't go the extra mile. But if I am satisfied, as long as my memory card is not full or my batteries are not dead, I can take as much pictures as possible. I can do extraordinary things that are not even expected of me. You get it? So I try as much as possible to find food. If I can get some food around, I'll go and buy. If I have to ask the couple to get us like maybe a breakfast or something, depending on the area. Some areas you would need to move very far to get food. So maybe they'll just send somebody to get the food for us. Or maybe they'll prepare some for us or something like that. But food is very important. A hungry man is an angry man. Okay, so the next question we have here is what? Rule 1 of photography, never shoot hungry. Never shoot hungry. That one is very, very true, because when you're hungry, everything angers you. Everything angers you. Because they've paid you to work, so maybe you will not show it directly, but it will reflect in the pictures. A hungry man is an angry man. Very necessary. If you don't get food, eat what the bride and groom are eating. That is not a bad advice, but sometimes you have to, depending on the kind of client you are shooting. Some are very lively, so maybe you can enjoy their meals more, and then usually get something and then drink water on it so that it can sustain you for the next hour or two. Okay, so do you use strobe while shooting exclusive or natural light for you? Okay, in my case, I'm a natural light shooter. I've never used a strobe at a wedding reception, like a wedding exclusive session before. I've never. Now, coming to that, I've spoken about my camera and then my lens, but I haven't spoken about my flash. So the flash I use is the Godox V1, the Godox V1, and let me see, where did I put it? Godox V1. So this flash over here, this is the flash I've been using for weddings, so on-camera flash. And I don't have strobes like maybe AD600 or all those. I don't have strobes. I only use flash because I want portability. Like I said earlier, the easier it is for me to carry the camera, the better I can shoot. I want to shoot without limitation by equipment. So I go for the lightest equipment as much as possible. So I use this on top of the camera, and it's very fantastic. It has an inbuilt battery, and it's affordable as well. You can get it in Ghana for around 1,500 from Popo cameras. So if you don't know Popo cameras, you can check them out. Let me see if I can find them on Instagram. Popo cameras. Yes, you can get some from them. So let me show you their page. This video is not sponsored by them. This live stream is not sponsored by them, but I've been buying from them, and so you can get some from them. This is the flash inside here. I can't find it. There's it. So this is the flash I'm talking about. They have it for 1,500. You can also get it from ThinkQ camera shop. They also are genuine people that I buy from. ThinkQ. I think I'll have to find it and then add it later. So they are very good people. Those two people I've mentioned, and then sometimes I buy from the photo store as well. It's also very good, especially with items that are usually not in Ghana. Yeah, Photo Place store. Yes, this people, they are very good. They are genuine. I trust them. Okay, this Photo Place, I don't think I've purchased from them before, but if you need help, I'll leave some links in the description later after this video so that you can check them out. All right, so the Goddess V1 is very fantastic. This is what I have been using for almost all my weddings for the past about 2 years now. And this flash, when I put it on 1/8, it can last me for more than 700 shots. And when I put it on 1/16, I can last about 1,000 to 1,200 shots. This is fantastic. So try considering getting one. The battery is inbuilt, so that means you don't have to worry about AA batteries. And this is my backup flash, which uses the AA battery. This is the Yonghu YN98 what. It's also very fantastic. It has a focusing light over here at the front. So it helps when the place is dark and you need to focus. And it also emits lights here that guide you to focus on the person you are shooting. This is also fantastic. You get it around 1,000 cedis or maybe $200 or something like that. Like $150 or something like that. This is my backup. I don't remember the last time I used it, but it is always in the bag just in case. Okay. And then there's a, okay. All right, so those are my flashes. I don't use strobe. I've never purchased a strobe in my life. I feel like they are too heavy, even though I wish I had one, but they are too heavy for me to carry around. So, rule number 1, never shoot hungry. All right, so Eze Moments says, nice job. Thank you, boss, and thank you for tuning in. Our time is almost spent, 7:52 already. If you have any questions, we'll be ending this live stream at 8 o'clock. So if you have any questions, please drop them now and let's get it sorted out. And let's see what you can do. Please, if you are new here, subscribe to this channel. I will be doing live streams like this, and I hope this information I provide will be useful to you guys. So try and subscribe, share, like, and then leave a comment. Your comment can be my next video or my next live stream. In fact, I need topics to live stream on, so please do so for me. And so do you use strobe? I don't. I just use natural light in most situations. Unless I'm shooting indoor and I can bounce the flash, I use natural light in almost all the situations. And if I'm shooting outside and it's dark, sometimes I'll just tilt the flash a little around 45 degrees, put it at the bare minimum, and then increase my ISO to around 2,000, 3,200, and then shoot from there. The client doesn't care about noise. That is what you guys should take note of. Clients don't worry about noise, and if you are shooting a full frame camera, 3,200, the noise level is acceptable. Like, it's very acceptable, and nobody is going to criticize you for shooting a clear picture with noise. So I always increase my ISO, and I know some of you guys don't go beyond 400, but depends on what you want to achieve. I can go as much as 6,400 if that is what will give me the result I want. And that is why full frame is very important if you are shooting a wedding, so that you can increase that ISO and still get less noise as much as possible. All right. what do you use for those practical lights in some of your indoor shots? By practical lights, what do you mean? Do you mean like the light in my background right now? That one, the light in my background is it's Virgin foldable LED light, RGB. It's RGB light. So let me quickly switch to the screen so that you guys can see. So I use the Virgin foldable RGB light. This one I got it from AliExpress. If you want one, let me know. I will direct you. That's what I use in the background. It's this light. It's foldable, and then you can change the colors to whatever you want. I don't know if that's the practical light you are talking about, but this is what is currently at my back, bouncing to the wall. And what other questions do you have for me? So let's see. So he said, do you retouch your wedding exclusive pictures? Yes, I only retouch the ones that I'll be sharing with the client on WhatsApp, and the ones I'll be posting on social media platform. I believe that this is a wedding. There is a reason why there is a makeup artist to do some touches, to do the retouching for us, the photographers. But if you want to share on social media, you have to perfect it, make it look nice. If you want to frame it, maybe the album cover and all those stuff, you have to retouch those ones. But even my retouching is not, you can see from my page, I don't do those high detail retouching or something like that. I just do some small touches, remove the blemishes and that. But with exclusive pictures, trust me, I can't do retouching on all the pictures. So I don't. I only edit them and I select a few and retouch and give to the client. So that's it, guys. We can't see the places. So which place is that? Which place are you referring to, please? Please, do you retouch all your wedding pictures, or how do you go by your pictures? I edit them in Lightroom, crop them, like get the lights correct, and then export them and then send to the client. I don't retouch wedding pictures. This is an event. It's not a fashion shoot. You get it? So I retouch only some few selected ones and send it to the client to share on social media. You get it? But there is a reason for makeup, like I said. Makeup is supposed to cover all those blemishes so that you, photographer, you come and then you document the day as it is. It is beauty shot that you come and then you make everything perfect. So, and if you want to retouch all the pictures you shoot from a wedding, trust me, you might never finish one wedding in a year. So, edit it correctly, nicely, and then send to the client. If they want to retouch it a little more, maybe they can pay extra for some few selected pictures, or maybe they can use some apps like maybe Facetune or something like that to smoothen their face and then share with their friends. So, and in most cases, these makeup artists are doing very well, so the makeup is on point. So that's it. But in very bad scenarios, then maybe you ask the client to pay something small and then you retouch some of them. But I don't believe you can edit more than 50, retouch more than 50. It depends on you, but in my case, I won't be able to go more than 20. All right. Okay, so I need one of the lights. Okay, Mr. Ose, please, which light are you referring to? If try to be specific so that I can answer your questions as fast as possible. All right, so if you need one of the flash, like I said, I'll leave some contacts or some pages that you can get it from. I got mine from AJ Cameras. Popo Camera is also there, and then ThinkQ is there. There are a lot of good guys in the system. NK Photo Kiosk also has some, and the price should be around 1,500 there. And then I also use a transmitter with it. So in cases where I want to use this light as my strobe, in rare cases, maybe a studio shoot or something like that, there's the the transmitter I use with it. So as you can see over here, this is the transmitter, and it is the name is Godos X Pro N for Nikon, N for Nikon. So get this one as well. This one uses AA batteries, so you have to find batteries for it, but it works very well. And the flash itself has its own receiver in there, so you just connect it and then just start using. And then what other non-photography device do you recommend, like Bluetooth speaker? Because I hear it helps a lot. Yes. Now, as a wedding photographer, one thing that is very important is speakers. Speakers. Because you want to get your bride in the mood. See, a happy bride equals to beautiful pictures. So I use Soundcore Mini. Soundcore Mini. And so it's from Anker. So Anker Soundcore Mini. Let me try and then open it and see if I can show you guys. So I take this along. It's very portable, very cute. The sound is loud enough. The sound is good enough as well. And that is what, no, that's not what I'm referring to. But this is also cute, and you can use this one. I'm referring to the Soundcore Mini, the flat one. It is water resistant as well. I will leave a link to where you can buy that if you are outside of Ghana. I'm referring to this. So this Soundcore Mini. This one over here. It's a very fantastic, very, very fantastic speaker. And I will always recommend it. Now you get it in your camera bag so that you can play music for the bride to dance to. And a happy bride equals happy pictures. All right, let's go to your next point. The next point here is what? So, the places, I mean the shops you are recommending. Yes, Popo camera, Popo cameras. Popo cameras. You can search them on Instagram or even on Google. There are a lot of people. We have Go Pixela. When you check Google, you find the correct name. Shikakope and K Photo Kiosk. So I'm typing and then thank you, etc. All these people are trusted people I've purchased from, and I've received my product and I've liked them so far. So I'll recommend them. Please, I've not been paid to promote them, and so I'm not benefiting from this. Just know that if you're buying from them, if you don't trust them, go to the shop and then buy it. Maybe the next time you can buy it online or something like that. But I am not responsible for anything that happens after. All right, let me make that straight. But I think they are good people that you can buy from. There may be some cases, 1 or 2 there, but we are humans. All right, so okay, so it's 8 o'clock already, and then the places I mean, let's go live again, but with videography in mind. So yes, I will make arrangements for that. The next time we'll be going live, it will be on videography as well. Not maybe the next time, but maybe one of our live streaming or something like that. We'll talk about videography as well. I prefer working with video rather than photos, so do some for me. Yes, Theo, I've seen you and I'll do some for you, don't worry. I use Retouch to run on all my pictures after Lightroom edits, and it helps. Yes, I've learned that Retouch does great on pictures. I've not tried it before, but thank you for suggesting this. I think I have to try it out and see if it works well. Then hooray, I'll start doing that for my clients. And thank you very much, Mr. Ose. I've learned something nice today. I've heard people use it, but I've not been serious enough to try it myself. Okay, thank you guys. So we have come to almost the end of this live stream. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, please ask them now so that I can help with the answer. All right. So if no more questions, I would like to end it there. Thank you for taking 1 hour off your busy schedules to join us here. I'm very grateful. Yes, I'm very grateful. And those of you who interacted as well, thank you very much for taking the time to type in and then let us all learn from this live stream. I hope I've made sense and I've helped you in a way to better your photography or better your purchasing decision making. So that being said, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.